Hey, have you ever wondered how to edit? Well, here's a tutorial again. Alright, so first you want to open up Google. Okay, now what you want to do is type in how to get Adobe After Effects for free. Wait, shit. Okay, so what you gotta do is type in Adobe After Effects, and then you gotta buy now. Alright, so after 4 easy payments, you should be at the screen. So what you gotta do is click New Composition, name your title, and then make it 19 by 1080 and 24 FPS, and then make your duration however you want your video to be, and then click OK. Now you gotta drag in your clips into the timeline, and then you gotta put in your song, which I'm gonna be using Bee's Knees by Juice WRLD. Okay, so we are going to be marking out the beats, so let's just click off these. Alright, so now I'm just gonna be marking the song, so here, let me do that real quick. Alright, that should be good for the timestamp that we were using. So now what I do is I usually right click on my keyframes and label them as red when the kill happens, just to keep myself organized. Alright, you get the point. Let's get into the good stuff now.
Left the tongue stain.
So this is where the first kill is gonna be. So I'm gonna line it up right here over it, and then right when he shoots, I'm gonna drag this over here. Okay, so right when he shoots, I cut it, and then I drag this over here, and then I make a cut so that it looks something like this. Okay, so now we're gonna do basic time mapping. So hit Control-T, and if you don't have that, if you don't have like if you don't know how to press Control-T, you can also just right click here, time, enable time mapping. Okay, I'm gonna do like a double barrel thing. I don't know. Okay, so here, since it starts way too early, like the double barrel does, I'm just gonna drag this down a bit. And when he hits a bouncer, I'm gonna want it to be on this beat, so then I can have a sound effect there. And then I'm gonna sync both of these double barrels, so one right here, and then another one right here. And then right here, I'm gonna put a time map marker right when he shoots. Okay, so now what you do is you hit F9. Also, if you don't have an F9, you can just go to keyframe assistance and easy ease. So you see how this looks really bad. Okay, so we gotta actually time wrap it now. So now we go into the graph editor. Most people think this is like the really confusing part, but it's not really when you learn it. Okay, so then you make your graph look something like this. So then it goes fast, then slow in the middle, like this. Something like this. And then it will smooth out. And then for most of the keyframes, you're going to be wanting to do that. Okay, that looks pretty fine. Now what we want to do is, see over here, we're going to click on this frame blending option. You're going to click it twice, and then it'll smooth out the bad frames. So then it'll look something like this. Okay, once you got something looking like that, we're gonna want to do pan crop. Okay, so pan crop is pretty much like screen pumps and like moving. It adds a lot to the edit. Okay, so first what we're gonna want to do is I'm gonna do a little zoom out. It just adds a bit, I guess I could say. And then I'm gonna do 6 frames, and then I'm gonna make it 100. And then I'm gonna F9 it again, easy ease. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it look like this. So what this graph means is it'll just do what it's told right away. Yeah, something like that. And then we're gonna add some motion blur. You see this little tick right here, you click this, that's motion blur. Okay, and now we're gonna wanna add an effect called motion tile. And then once you add motion tile, you can make the outputs like 150 and 150, and then click the mirror edges button, and then it'll look like this. Okay, so once it's looking like this, you're gonna wanna put a zoom in where your second beat is, or as I like to do. And then you go to your graph editor, and then you do like the opposite of what you did last, and then you go here, drag this over here, and then it'll look something like this. And then when he shoots right here, you can put another keyframe here, and then you can put another keyframe here. And then what you want to do is you're gonna want to scale this down over here to 100, and then you're gonna go to both of these, and then you're gonna make it like this. You're gonna make it like this right here. And we're not gonna be doing a zoom in on this beat right here. So we're just gonna do a little screen pump here. I like to go in 120 and then go like this, put it back to 100. Okay, so when we go back here, we go into our keyframe assistance, and then we go into our graph editor, sorry. And then we make our graphs look exactly like this for our screen pumps, because we want them to be nice and smooth and good. So something like this. And then I like to do a little build up at the end, or it zooms in. So then you just go to your keyframe assistance, graph editor, I think you can guess. You just drag this point down, and then drag this point a little up like this. And then see, that's looking a lot nicer. Let's play that back. Yeah, it's looking a lot better than it did before. So then you see how the value is 122 here. We're gonna make it 122 here, and then go about like 5 frames. Okay, and then once you do 5 frames, you're gonna go like this, easy ease. Then you're gonna make your graph like this, and then drag this down, then make it look something like this. I think we're gonna do like 10 frames for this. Okay, it should be looking like something like this. Okay, all right, so let's do the effects. Alright, so make yourself an adjustment layer, click new, adjustment layer. Okay, there you go, you got yourself an adjustment layer. I like to shorten out to the length of the clip. Okay, so once you got your adjustment layer, I'm gonna do it like a couple frames. Wait, okay, so now what I like to do for this stuff, I add BCC lens blur, and then I go to 7, and then I go sharper, and then I make it 600 for gamma, and then quality, well not quality, we click on the iris scale, and then we go about 7 frames. Okay, we got 7 frames. Okay, now we easy as these keyframes, and then we go exactly like this. We make a graph like this, and now it kind of blurs right here. And we're probably gonna do another blur right here, because there's nothing else. I mean, I wouldn't really put a beat shake here because it would look kind of weird, but okay. So now we make it 7 again, and then we pull it down to 0. Okay, that should be enough of blur. Now we do the same exact thing that we did for our pan crop on the clip. Here we go. Okay, right here we're gonna want to do shakes. What I do for shakes is I do Y shake and movement shake. Okay, so what you do is you add. I like to do 6 frames on this, and then I make it 0 again, and then you do another 6 frames. Okay, after those 6 frames, then you go here, and then you easy ease both of them, and then you make the graph something like this. Yo guys, it's currently 2 AM and I was editing this footage, and half of it corrupted, like more than half of it corrupted. So if you want like a tutorial for the stuff that I missed, please hit the like button. If we get the goal of 100 likes, then we'll definitely make a part 2. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of the video. So now what I like to do for sound effects is right when he shoots, you go over here, you go to where it's done, you add some reverb. You guys can follow settings if you want to. Okay, now we add some bass and treble. We're gonna want the bass kind of high for this, but kind of low for yeah, we want big. Okay, lower. Okay, now what we gotta do is we gotta turn down the decibels. We want it at like -2. Okay, now we want to add some high and low pass, so then we can just muffle the sound effects. And now what we gotta do is probably the most important thing here, is that we got to add the swooshes. Swooshes give impact, and it's really, really good for edits. I'm gonna be using this for a couple things. And then we're just gonna copy and paste this sound effect, and it's way too loud, so we're gonna turn down the decibels in a second. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Okay, so now we gotta add our whoosh to the beginning of the clip. Okay, now we're gonna add another whoosh. Try to keep the whooshes different because some can get repetitive. Alright, that should be good for the sound effects. And now for the CC. Alright, so the song is like I'm gonna use Shine for the CC. I know you guys are gonna like be kind of mad about that, but gonna turn down Shine to like 44%, turn down the raise. Okay, now we're gonna add some CC toner. We're gonna make it kind of orangish. Okay, blend with the original around here. Okay, now we're gonna use our levels, make that look good. Okay, we're gonna go to the reds. We're gonna turn up the reds a bit. We're gonna go to the greens. Okay, this should be good for the green. We're gonna go blues. We want blues. We love blues. And then that should be good for the levels. Okay, now we're gonna do the final thing. Well, actually, we're gonna do two final things. We're gonna use curves. We're just gonna do something like this for curves. This is what I usually do. Okay, now we go to the greens. That should be good for the curves. And now we're just gonna saturate it a bit. And now we're just gonna sharpen, and then we should be done with the colors. I'm gonna put sharpen to like 20. Trust me, it'll look good in full. Okay, that should be it for the whole thing. All right, here, I'll be back when it renders. I'll let you guys know.
Get on my face.